I spent time with the Globerider 35 liter from Matador, and they've needed this size in their lineup for a while. So in this video, I'll cover the good, the bad, who it's for, and why this will probably become Matador's best-selling travel bag. I've reviewed Matador's Seg 28 and Globerider 45, and I've thought Matador was missing the most common travel bag size at 35 liters. So I wasn't surprised when they released this pack, but I was surprised that they redesigned the bag from the ground up. It's not just a larger Seg 28 or a smaller version of the 45, it's a unique design in itself, and it is a travel bag, so that's what I used it for travel and for weekend trips. Here's some stats. In the early days, Matador specialized in ultralight hiking bags. Then came the Globerider series as a more feature-heavy bag that also weighed a little more. And I would say this pack is still on the lighter side of travel bags, being 3 pounds at 35 liters without the hip belt. Starting with the outside, the easiest way to explain it is I loved the front and sides, and I just didn't care for most of this back. The bag looks really clean. 420D recycled nylon all around, and it's boxy if you like that look. They removed that checkered pattern that was at the bottom of the Seg 28 and Globerider 45, so now the pack is just all black. And it does come in other colors. There's 4 grab handles, one on each side, that did make it easier to maneuver. And there's some latch points down here. And minimal branding that you can honestly just color black if you want to. The most useful feature that's also on the larger size is this outer slip pocket. So not many bags have this, but it does come in handy. When it's empty, it blends in with the bag, so you can't really see it. It's a big and stretchy mesh that I put jackets or shoes or large snacks in. Stuff that I wanted to either keep separate from the main compartment or that was too bulky to put inside. This pocket's nice because it increases the carry volume without increasing the overall size of the bag. On one side, there's another handle and compression straps, which was pretty handy. And on the other side, same thing, except a stretch pocket that fits in enormous water bottles. Like, it easily fit this 32-ounce bottle, so I think it can probably fit bigger. And I like to use this buckle to lock in the water bottle so it doesn't slip out like on the plane. Another small detail that only Matador does, so I've seen, is using different zipper pulls for different pockets. So like in a dark plane or something, I can just open the pocket I want by feeling the zipper tab, so I don't have to look down. And that's like underrated convenient. Quick tip, I think people should swap their zipper pulls on whatever bag they have just to get the same effect. Zipper pulls are really cheap on like eBay or Amazon. Zipper hardware on this 35 is very premium. They're oversized, water-sealed zippers, and they're, I guess, kind of theft-proof if you loop it in at the ends. Okay, on to this back panel, and there's a lot to talk about, and most of it isn't great. So this may be the deciding factor for this pack. And I'm gonna kind of go in on Matador right now, and I'll explain why at the end, but don't dismiss the bag just yet because the interior of the bag is really, really good. Just bear with me with this back panel rant. The straps overall just weren't the most comfortable. They are padded, but very firm, and they have these like cut points that made the straps flex a little weird, like angled, whereas normal straps just round around your shoulders. And I think the straps will eventually break in, but out of the box, they're just really stiff. I also pointed out on every bag review, but companies continue to make the straps too close together so that it kind of rubs on your neck when the bag's too tight to your back. Of course, this may not affect everyone, but I'd recommend that whenever you try a bag, any bag, wear a t-shirt or a low collar so you can feel if the straps rub against your neck. The back panel got a much needed design overhaul from the Globerider 45. I called that thing borderline unusable if you like to tuck in the shoulder straps. The 45 had zippers here and you kind of had to tuck the straps and it didn't fit well, just hard to use. It was not great. On this 35 liter, they ditched the old design and went back to the traditional setup, which is great. You just unhook the straps at the bottom and tuck into the back panel. It's simple, it's common, it works. Great job for Matador for listening. However, they still managed to implement a small flaw. The luggage pass-through is cool, but this strap has a very rough edge that kept scratching my neck, and it got annoying. Good news is I'm probably going to cut it off to solve the problem because the strap isn't really needed. It's there, I guess, to keep the back panel closed because there is a hidden pocket back here for passports, but in my experience, the bag works fine without this strap. It's not like the back panel is just flying open all the time. It's literally against your back. And if the worry is that you can see the hidden zipper if this is open, Matador could have just positioned the zip pocket lower and out of sight. And if you think this top part is a turnoff, wait till you try and remove this hip belt. It's cool that Matador made the hip belt removable. It's not removable on the 45 liter, but no joke, it's almost impossible to remove this on the 35 liter. So they designed it like this underneath the padded part. It's an inner sleeve that's stitched on the top and on the bottom, so you can't open it up. This padded part is also stitched so you can't even get access to the inner sleeve. And the hip belt has 2 strips of Velcro on this side and this side, which match the Velcro strips on the inner sleeve here and here. But this sleeve is so tight that you can't undo all 4 Velcro points all at once enough to pull the thing out. Peeling apart here pushes the other side to stick more, and vice versa. And if you manage to get one side free, good luck getting the other side free without this side like re-sticking. And by some miracle, if you get both sides free, it's not a simple slide out because there's these notches that lock the hip belt in. And of course, imagine doing all that process in reverse when you put the straps back in. The only way I managed to remove it was by twisting this as much as I could to detach all the Velcro and then just yanked it out, and even that was not easy. Realistically, I'm gonna have to just cut this sleeve. I think there's no reason to have double-sided Velcro with no way to access it and the locking hip belt. Like, the thing is not gonna fall out. So if you see yourself taking this hip belt on and off a lot, not sure if this bag is for you. Luckily, at 35 liters, the bag never got extremely heavy, so I just kept the hip belt off. In my reviews, I try to be critical without being harsh, but this is the second Matador bag that has a basically unusable function on the back panel. And I think it's frustrating because it gives the sense that Matador just doesn't do wear testing before releasing their stuff. I'm sure that's not the case, but I guarantee anyone who tried to remove this hip belt even once would realize that it's a shitty design. I'm being hard on Matador because they charge a premium price for this backpack, but also because they clearly put intention into design. I mean, the rest of the bag is great. It's just they continue to fumble on this back panel. Moving to the inside of the bag, we have a lot more positivity. In here, Matador made great design choices that I haven't seen on other bags. I like the organization and dual access options, and disliked nothing really. The top admin pocket is pretty standard, sleeves and a few zip pockets. And the bag opens in 2 different ways. The first being a traditional clamshell style, which has access to the whole 35 liters, and I fit about 4 to 7 days worth of clothes. Super easy to pack, plenty of mesh pockets to separate different items. And on this side, a very controversial design choice. Putting the 16-inch laptop sleeve in the main area, this will always be a potential deal breaker for people, because I understand wanting a separate laptop compartment. It's just more protective. But I personally like the laptop in the main area because I don't always carry a laptop with me while I travel, so this area doesn't go unused when I don't carry one. The second opening is more like a normal backpack with this second zipper, and now it opens like a top loader, which was super cool. Still access to the top zippers, but now it's more bucket style, so when I was on a plane or had the bag upright. There's 2 gussets here that I realized solved the problem that I had with other top loaders. So sometimes this top part on other packs like flaps open too much, or the reverse, it just closes on me because it's kind of heavy. And these guys have just enough rigidity to stop it from falling open, of course, but also stop it from closing by accident. So overall, it was just really easy to use, and I could access this whole thing with one hand. People also have a preference of how they access their laptop. It's a top loader here from that second carry, but there's also a zippered side access if that's what you care for as well. And these dual access options are just such simple additions that don't add any bulk or unused space, but it makes the bag more versatile for more carry styles. Matador also made the hard frame sheet removable, in case you want a more flexible duffel bag style feeling with even less weight. And this is a common feature on hiking backpacks, which Matador specializes in, so I'm glad to see that they carried it over to their travel bags. Again, it's just something that a lot of companies just don't offer. And lastly, there's a quick access pocket on the top that's felt lined for sunglasses. Okay, so final thoughts, and who is the Globerider 35 liter for? It's a lightweight, one-bag travel bag that has all the features that other bags do, but also adds things like the outer stretch pocket, dual opening clamshell and top loader style that no other bags have. And it also looks really nice. Unfortunately, Matador struck out again with the back panel and straps. So I think this bag is for someone who wants the versatility the bag offers and doesn't mind dealing with less comfortable straps and a hip belt that's really difficult to remove. Anyways, comment below if you want a response, let's talk, and subscribe for new videos on Sundays. Thanks.